Gorkhali heart and spirit of Kohima glows bright at the glorious 75 years rises like a banner of hope and illuminates immense light. This is not only the journey of Kohima Gorkha to Kohima Students Union, Gorkha Students Union Kohima. This is a journey of sacrifice, resilience, commitment, valor, peace, progress, and unity. This is time itself has written in honor and identity as the Union has endeavored to trust with dignity. An unwavering belief that the pioneers have left as a legacy. It is on this firm heritage built by the Gorkhali exhorts that, still awakening and strengthening the pride within their souls, the Union has become an avowal of guiding flame through education, goodwill, assistance, equality, and camaraderie. Beaconing culture, inspiring youths, bridging generations, aspiring futures. The ancestors have built the path, the youth has dreamed the future. Hand in hand, mind in cohesion, hearts united, it became the bridge of our tradition and time to final progression. As we celebrate the Platinum Jubilee under the shade of awe, respect, and remembrance, the Union vows to stand as a mirror of the Kohima Gorkhali society, teaching, guiding, and paving the way forward. Bridging generations, aspiring futures isn't just a theme, it is a vision, a silent prayer, whispered from one generation to the other. Our Gorkhali identity, our Gorkha pride, we will shine even brighter in the days to come. Jai Gorkha, long live Gorkha Students Union Kohima. So once again, a very grand welcome and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. They say that a smile is the universal welcome. So I, Jenny Lamechane Chhetri, welcome you all with a bright smile to the Platinum Jubilee celebration of Gorkha Students Union Kohima. We are indeed honored to have our dignitaries and esteemed guests with us today. I would like to now ask our guests of honor, our dignitaries, and our special guests to kindly, can you please come forward for the Deep Prajwalan, that is lighting of lamps. The celebration of program holds a deep cultural and symbolic significance in Gorkhali tradition. The lamp itself represents knowledge and learning. Lighting it signifies invocation of wisdom, blessing, and marks positivity and inspiration. As the light is emanated, may this augment honor to be filled with positivity, wisdom, and harmony, and invoke God's blessing amidst us. Proverbs 16:3 from the book of Bible says, "Commit your work to the Lord and your plans shall be established." Bhagavad Gita 2.57 quotes, "Karmanya ekabadasari dharmaha palesu kara yadavavanaha." Thank you so much, sirs, once again. Now, I would like to call the Jubilee GSUK Jubilee Choir for their GSUK Theme Song. like to welcome our President, Gorkha Students Union Kohima, Shri Meghraj Lama, for your welcome address.
Good morning. It is with immense pride and heartfelt joy that I, on behalf of the organizing committee, warmly welcome each and every one of you to this historic Platinum Jubilee celebration of the Gorkha Students Union Kohima. Today's marked a proud milestone, 75 years of unity, resilience and dedication since our union was founded in 1950 under the leadership of our first president, late Chhetri. This occasion marks a truly profound moment in our shared history. 75 years is not merely a passage of time, it represents a testament to endurance, unity, and an unwavering commitment to community. Our Jubilee theme, Reaching Generations, Aspiring Futures, captures the spirit of this occasion, honoring the wisdom and sacrifice of our elders while inspiring the dreams and determination of our youth. I vividly remember the day, 28 October 2000, when, as a teenager standing at the corner of this very ground, I witnessed the Golden Jubilee celebration. Never in my wildest dream did I imagine that today, after 25 years later, I would stand here with immense pride and humility as the president of the Gorkha Students Union Kohima, the oldest organization of the Gorkha community in Kohima, on this historic occasion of Platinum Jubilee. We look back at decades of challenges which we overcame and milestones achieved with profound gratitude. We remember the pioneer leaders, advisors, members and well-wishers, some of whom are no longer with us. Yet the dedication echoes in every achievement we celebrate today. The spirit lives in our unity, the sacrifice are reflected in our progress, and the vision continues to guide our mission. For generations, the Gorkha and the Naga community have shaped a bond defined by brotherhood, mutual respect, and unwavering trust. This cherished relationship is beautifully captured in our union's logo, where the spear and the kukri stand together as symbols of unity. They represent our shared values, courage, honor, and harmony, and remind us that our friendship is rooted not just in history, but in the spirit of understanding and mutual respect. As we stand here today, celebrating 75 years of our union, we renew our pledge to uphold and strengthen this special relationship. As we celebrate this historic milestone, we honor the pioneers and all who have contributed in our journey. With heartfelt gratitude, I thank all the committee, volunteers, supporters, well-wishers, and each one of you for joining us today to make this celebration truly meaningful. Welcome to the Platinum Jubilee celebration of the Gorkha Students Union Kohima. Jai Gorkha, Dhanyavad.
Dear Dhanyavad Sir, President Shri Meghraj Lama Jubilee, welcome address community. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall be witnessing the release of the souvenir, the Gorkha Students Union Kohima Jubilee souvenir. So for this, I request our special guest, Shri Kenye, Honorable Minister, Power and Parliamentary Affairs, and also our guest of honor, Dr Tseilhoutuo Rhutso, Dr Ato, Honorable MLA Dr Kohima Town A, to kindly do the honors, sir. Extremely grateful. Request our President, Shri Meghraj Lama to kindly come for the honors. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we should move forward to the presentation. There is no other duty than the duty of giving thanks, it is said. So, to express our gratefulness to the invitees and dignitaries, we shall be felicitating them. So, first of all, I request Shri Kenye, Honorable Minister for Power and Parliamentary Affairs, Government of Nagaland, our special guest today, sir. Please accept the small token of love and appreciation from your side, sir. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to request our guest of honor, Tseilhoutuo Rhutso, also formerly called Dr. Ato, Honorable MLA Dr Kohima Town A. Sir, please accept this small token of love and appreciation from our side, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Next, I would like to request Honorable Gorkha Students Chhetri of Chandmari, kita dapat bersih mengucapkan Malaysia, Maya Kopi except for the Musala. Thank you. Now I request the Honorable President Nagaland Gorkha Station, Sri Deep Prajwalan Jubilee. Professor, Honorable Chandmari, a couple of other. Dhanyawad, sir. Now I request Gratitude from the President Gorkha Public Panchayat Kohima, Sri Tseilhoutuo Rhutso. Dhanyawad, sir. I will request the President of Nagaland Gorkha Students Union, Sri John Thakurji. Dhanyawad. Now I would like to request our President Kohima Village Students Union, Sri Tseilhoutuo K. Sir, could you please accept this small token of love and appreciation from the side? Now I would like to request Sri Tseilhoutuo, President Gorkha Public Panchayat Kohima, for the Jubilee greetings, sir.
आज हामी हाम्रो पुर्खोको योगदानले आज 50 साल गोर्खा छात्र सङ्घ मनाउने यहाँ आएर भएको छौँ। भगवान्लाई धन्यवाद दिँदै हाम्रो पुर्खोलाई याद गर्दै म चन्द्र थापा गोर्खा पब्लिक पञ्चायतको प्रेसिडेन्ट अनि गोर्खा युनियनलाई धन्यवाद दिँदै जुब्लीको शुभकामना दिन चाहन्छु। तपाईँसित सल्लाह माग्दै म आउँदैछैन यो जुब्ली ग्रिटिङ चाहिँ दिएको छु। धन्यवाद। प्रेस एन्ड मिडिया फ्रेन्ड्स, I was part of the Golden Jubilee celebration on 20th of October in the year 2000 as an organizing secretary. And today, I'm privileged to extend Jubilee greetings in the august presence of our special guest of honor, leaders of the civil societies of the state. On the momentous occasion of the Platinum Jubilee of the Gorkha Students Union Kohima, GSUK, I extend on behalf of the executives of the Gorkha Public Panchayat, the frontal organizations, the Gorkha community of Kohima, a heartfelt congratulations to the President and executives of the Gorkha Students Union on the occasion of the Platinum Jubilee. The theme for the Jubilee is Bridging Generations, Inspiring Futures, beautifully captured the enduring spirit of unity, purpose and progress that has sustained GSUK for 70 glorious years. It reminds us that every generation of students, past, present and future, plays a vital role in shaping a stronger, enlightened and empowered society. As we celebrate this historic milestone, it is also a time for thoughtful reflection. Our students today face new and complex challenges, academic pressures, rapid technological shift, competitive employment landscape, and a growing need for skills beyond the classroom. Likewise, the students across Nagaland confront issues of career uncertainty, limited opportunities, changing socio-economic realities. Yet, with challenges comes opportunities. Opportunities to innovate, to lead, and to create meaningful progress. The Gorkha Students Union Kohima has always been a beacon of inspiration, a beacon of guidance, discipline, and collective strength. Its legacy inspires our youth to remain resilient, forward-looking, and committed to excellence. The Gorkha Students Union Kohima firmly believes that with continued mentorship, community support, and strong values, our students will rise above obstacles and contribute greatly to the development of the state and the nation. The future of youth is bright, provided we continue nurturing them with the same spirit of unity, service, and vision that defines the Gorkha Students Union Kohima. On this Platinum Jubilee, let us salute the pioneers who laid the foundation, the leaders who carried the torch, and the young minds who will take it forward. May Gorkha Students Union Kohima continue to be a bridge between generations and a guidepost for inspiring futures. Today in our midst, we are very privileged to have our special guest, Sir Kenny. While receiving him, I was just asking him, sir, this may be the first time of this. On behalf of myself, on behalf of the Gorkha community in Kohima, I take this privilege on the president of the Jubilee to welcome you. And we are looking forward to your continuous support to this minority community. When we look back to 1950, when this Gorkha Students Union was instituted, Kohima of 1950 was very different. Our Naga leaders, our forefathers, our Gorkha forefathers, they struggled to build Kohima Township. Today we are traveling in a road which was dug. There was no JCB, with the hand of our Gorkha forefathers and Nagaland forefathers. I pay from this August gathering a huge tribute to them. Because of their contribution, we are enjoying the Kohima Township now. In the year 2004, when the state government was celebrating First Centennial of Kohima Township, among the non-Nagas, Gorkhas were also given the opportunity to celebrate the First Centennial. Only because when we were celebrating the First Centennial of Kohima Township, the government, the people, has recognized this community's contribution for developing the Kohima Township. So today, from this August gathering, I'd like to thank all our Naga leaders, our Gorkha forefathers, for the love and affection they have for this minority community. So today, on this momentous occasion, I pray that wherever they are now, let there be the eternal peace, and let their legacy guide us to serve as they were serving the Naga people, the state. The present generation of Gorkhas is serving equally, and I'm sure the coming generation of Gorkhas will continue to serve the people of the state, to support the government, to support the civil societies. With this, I once again thank the program committee for giving me this privilege to extend the Jubilee greetings. Thank you so much. Dhanyavad, warm greetings to all. Khubnalim, Jai Gorkha, Jai Hind.
Now I would like to invite our theme speaker, Shri Nobin Pradhanji, President Nagaland Gorkha Association, sir, for your thematic speaking.
उपस्थित हुनुभएको दाजुभाइ दिदीबहिनीहरूलाई आज हाम्रो गोर्खा स्टुडेन्ट्स युनियनको 75 सालको जयन्तीमा तपाईँहरू सबैलाई धेरै धेरै बधाई, शुभकामना अनि मेरो न्यानो अभिनन्दन. We thank God for giving us this beautiful day. Chairperson Ms. Jenny Lamechane, our special guest Shri K.G. Minister of Power and Parliamentary Affairs, Government of Nagaland. Guest of honor Dr. Tseilhoutuo Rhutso, Honorable MLA. Big honor for me to be standing here today to speak on the 75th Platinum Jubilee celebration of the Gorkha Students Union Kohima. It is a landmark achievement for us, especially for students of Kohima, Gorkha people of Kohima, that we have come to such a stage that a union which was formed 75 years ago has reached this stage and is still going on very strong. It is also an added privilege for me that this very organization had one of its founding members, my late mother. She was also one of the founding members of this organization, and I feel especially more privileged to be here, standing among you. Any journey that begins 75 years ago, that has begun 75 years ago and is continuing, is not an ordinary thing. It has its roots in the hills and valleys of Kohima. It must have started in the year 1950 when Kohima was just fresh out of its war-ravaged situation. The Battle of Kohima had just ended and Kohima was on the verge of reconstruction. People had, gone here and there. Lives had been all jumbled up because of the war. So it is such an honor for us to be celebrating 75 years today in memory of our parents, our grandparents, who had had the thought, who had had the interest of the community in mind, the students' body in mind, to have formed an organization which was earlier named as Gorkha Chhatra Sangh, which later was renamed as Gorkha Students Union Kohima. It is not an ordinary journey. And the beauty of Kohima Gorkha Students Union Kohima is that not even a single year has passed in this past 75 years where the body had gone defunct. It is an achievement in itself. There have been so many unions earlier also which faded away, which remained defunct. But Gorkha Students Union Kohima, right from the day it began its journey, has gone on continuously without having any haltage, without having any stoppages anywhere. That is the resilience of Kohima people, the Gorkhas of Kohima. And we have to thank our Naga brothers for having embraced us, for having given us the space to run this organization. We are thankful to our Naga brothers, especially our Angami brothers in Kohima, who has given us the support, who has embraced us, who has never come in our way, and in fact, they have aided us in this 75 years of journey, and we still expect more from them. The love and honor that we have received, not only as Gorkhas, but as denizens and citizens of Kohima, by the people of Kohima, by the Naga people of Kohima, is something that we will always cherish. It is a thing that our parents, our forefathers had cherished in their lives. And that is going on, and we always expect the same kind of love and affection from our Naga brothers and sisters. Nagaland is going through a very tumultuous period right now. We have the problem of rain. We have even the Naga people's own expectations are there for their own settlement. So even in these kinds of tumultuous times, we have never faced any kind of trouble or difficulties from our Naga brothers. And we understand the society, we understand the situation of what the Naga people are going through. And as a community, which has been loved and accepted by the Naga community, we as a Gorkha community also, we have our duties and responsibilities towards the society, towards the Naga people. That we should always keep in mind. We should not only be confined to ourselves, celebrate our festivals among ourselves. We have to look out, we have to go forward, we have to mix with the people, make them feel that we are part of the society. If we reciprocate their love and affection, then only Naga society will be willing to accept us as their own. We cannot expect everything from the Naga society. We have to give something back in return also. We live in very difficult times, but we have to adjust, we have to have a big heart, we have to support our Naga brothers and sisters in their aspirations also. Just celebrating festivals among ourselves, having a good time among ourselves is not going to fulfill our aspirations, is not going to fulfill what we expect from the Naga society. Recently the government has, in its wisdom, decided that the tag indigenous, which is given to the Gorkhas, will not be there anymore. The government's policy is that only Nagas by blood should be indigenous. And as Gorkhas who have migrated from a different land, we will not be given the term indigenous. We have no problem with that. We accept the wisdom of the government, we accept the wisdom of the civil societies in their desire that the word indigenous should only be applied to the Nagas. But the government will surely think of something for us, especially those who have settled, those of us who have settled here permanently in Nagaland prior to 1963. We are sure the government is having a view of us, going to have something for us, and we should not be unjustified. We expect justice from the government, and we are hopeful that as the past 75 years of the Students' Union, as a community which has settled in Nagaland since 1830, we expect justice, and we are hopeful that the government will not let us down in any way. We expect the love and appreciation from them. Just the other day, our delegation had gone and met members of the Naga Students Federation and members of the ILT Regulation Commission, and we had a very fair and free discussion with them. And their views are so welcome to us. We had gone with the apprehension that maybe their views on us will be different, but we are surprised at the way they advised us. We are surprised at the way they received us. We are surprised at the way that they have thought about us. We came out very happy and contented. Today, as we have this program, we are so honored to have Sri KG Kenye. He himself has been a very strong student activist right from his college days. There's no one better who knows the problem of the students, who knows the heartbeat and the rhythm of the students like our special guest. He has been a trendsetter in the student days. Similarly, we have, as a guest of honor, Dr. Tseilhoutuo Rhutso, who himself, by profession, is a doctor, and all doctors are, very kind-hearted. They always have the interest of a human being at heart. So with these kinds of leaders that we have today, we are sure that Gorkhas as a community will have more better days. We do not ask for a job. We do not ask for any rights to be shared with us. What we only want, what we look forward is the love and affection that we have received, and we expect this to continue for even another 100 years, as long as humankind exists. Our students are getting good education in Kohima. Our students are working all around the globe. They're in the United States, they're in Canada, they're in Europe, they're in Australia, they're in New Zealand, they're in Southeast Asian countries from Kohima, our students. They're working there. But they always come back home to Kohima because Kohima is home for them. Kohima is home for us. And we have nowhere else to go. There are migrant Nepalis, Gorkhas who come. Their story is different. We do not embrace them. We do not call them we do not call them permanent settlers. They've come here for opportunities which Nagaland offers them, but they come and they go back. They come for their livelihood. But we as a community, what we call ourselves as an indigenous community, now the government is going to give us maybe a different tag. We accept that. But we have nowhere else to go, and we will not go anywhere. We will stay in Nagaland. We will die in Nagaland as ancestors did. Today we are celebrating 75 years of Gorkha Students Union Kohima. 2 days from now, on 16th December, Gorkha Indian Mohokshun will be celebrating their 50th anniversary. Similarly, last year, 2025, all Nagaland Gorkha Students Union also celebrated the 50 years of establishment. So why are we celebrating all this? Because we feel free. We feel this is our home. This is our land. We have received the love and affection from the Naga community. We feel free. This is our home. So we go on celebrating all these celebrations. And we are thankful to the government, the people of Nagaland, and I sincerely hope that this relationship will grow deeper. The love and affection that we share with each other will grow deeper. And we expect our Naga brothers, we look upon them as elder brothers and sisters. We expect the same kind of love and affection in the years to come. With these few words, I thank you for giving me this opportunity. Jai Gorkha, Kugnari.
Next, I would like to request our President, Kohima Village Students Union, Sri Kesani Kyukiri, for your speech, sir.
I had to do that as I fill on this cap. First of all, I would like to thank God for giving me this opportunity and for bringing each and every one of us here together today. Thank you, Chairperson, Ms. Jenny Lamechane. Distinguished special guest, Sri KG Kenye, Honorable Minister for Power and Parliamentary Affairs, and our respected Sri Meghraj Lama, President, Gorkha Students Union Kohima. First of all, I, on behalf of our parent body, Kohima Village Council, and the executive of the Kohima Village Students Union, bring warm greetings to the Gorkha Students Union Kohima on this 75th Platinum Jubilee celebration. Secondly, Kohima, the term used for the people of Kohima village, the inhabitant of the Kohima village, this Kohima. I, on behalf of all the Kohima, would like to thank our Gorkha brothers and sisters and our forefathers for building up this very place Kohima to this present city as of now. What began as a small student body in 1950 has now grown into a huge and a strong union. Today, on this auspicious and special occasion, let us remember our founders, past leaders, and our alumni, whose vision, resilience, and dedication has brought the union this far. And I believe that in the past years, our elders, our forefathers, the Gorkhas and the Kohima had a strong connection, a friendship that is unbreakable, and they have built this place together into a better place called Kohima city as of now. Today, as we celebrate these 75 glorious years, let us renew our friendship. Let us carry on the legacy that has been set by our pioneers. Let us work together for brighter futures for our community and our society and the students in particular. Thank you once again, and once again I congratulate all the Gorkha Students Union, both present and the past members, on this remarkable milestone. Jai Gorkha, march for the better. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words of encouragement and enlightening us with your namaste. Your greeting was really, and then I should say that you look rather very handsome with a Nepali cap and thing also. So thank you so much once again, sir. Now I would like to request our President of Nagaland Gorkha Students Union, Sri P. John Thakuri, to take the stage.
Thank you, Chairperson Ms. Jenny Lamechane, Vice President of Gorkha Student Union Kohima, our esteemed guest today, whom we fondly and lovingly call as Dr. Ato. Thank you so much, sir, for always being there for our community. We are very grateful to have a leader like you, who have really been a blessing for our community. Thank you, sir, for being in our midst this afternoon also. Our respected NGA Chairman, Sri Deep Prajwalan and his colleagues, our respected Sir Shantu Thapa, President of Kohima Gorkha Public Panchayat, along with his executives, our Sir Tseilhoutuo Rhutso, President of Kohima Students Union and his executive, my President, Mr. Meghraj Lama of GSUK Kohima, our GP, Sir Kenye Chhetri, our senior GP, and also all the dignitaries from different organizations. I am so sorry that my humble brain could not memorize all the organizations' names that are here this afternoon to bless us with your presence. But few, like whichever I remember, like Tseilhoutuo Student Union, Kohima Village Youth Organization, representative of Angami Student Union, and from different Kohima Village women organizations, and Tseilhoutuo women organization, and all the dignitaries that are here. I'm so sorry that I could not separately remember the name of your organization, but on behalf of all the Gorkha community, I would like to thank you all for your presence in our midst this afternoon. Your presence has really been a blessing to my community, and I'm looking forward for such cooperation in days to come too. I, on behalf of all Nagaland Gorkha Student Union, would like to bring warmest greeting and congratulations to Mr. Meghraj Lama, President GSUK Kohima, and his team for successfully hosting the 75th year Platinum Jubilee of the Gorkha Student Union Kohima. I myself, being the President, I am celebrated the last year we celebrated our Amsu Golden Jubilee. I know the hardship that goes behind to organize this event. It's not so easy, especially when it comes to our community. It's very more tougher than anything else. And when it comes to raising the fund to organize such an event, it becomes such a hectic. On top of that, it's so sad, but I'm very glad that this new generation are keeping up and learning. With all our mistakes, we are learning. But the hardest part for us is to write our souvenirs, to write our histories. Because my community, we had a very weak, I could say rather it's our weakness, that we hardly used to keep documentations of all the details that we have contributed or how we have started. And because of the lack of documentation, today we are facing identity crisis. That is our weakness. And I hope the new generation will learn from these mistakes that we have committed, that you may know, and in days to come, you will do proper documentations of all the events and of all the activities that we go around, so that in days to come, when we celebrate our centenary, we may have all the documentation. We may not face the struggle that the present generation have faced. The theme of the Jubilee is so wonderful. I am inspired by the theme, and I'm very grateful to the one who have suggested for the theme, bridging generation and aspiring teams. When it comes to my community, as I've said earlier, we are a community that faces a lot of challenges. Just to born as a Gorkha is a challenge in itself, because we are to face all the struggles that the rest of the community may not face. From the moment we are born, we face with identity crisis. And from there itself, when we look at our own community also, we are from a diverse community. In Gorkha community, you will find that there are, in our community, we have there are higher caste, lower caste. There are people that follows Hinduism. There are people that follows Christianity. There are people that follows Buddhism. And there are people that are from Aryan race. There are people from the Mongolian race. So when it comes to the Gorkha community, it's a very diverse community. And when we looked at what is one factor that is uniting this whole diverse entity of the Gorkha community, that's the Gorkha Student Union Kohima. So I'm very thankful to all the pioneers who have worked hard to establish this organization. Because of this organization, today the Gorkha community has come under one umbrella. Today we have shed our caste, we have shed our religions, we have given up our race, and we have become one as a Gorkha community. And that could happen only because the Gorkha Student Union is here. So I'm thankful to all the our pioneers, those who have worked hard to establish this Gorkha Student Union Kohima. Right now, being the president of the whole Nagaland Gorkha Student Union, I would like to rather take this time to thank. So I would like to seek apology with our esteemed dignitaries and our guests to kindly pardon me as I will take a few minutes to address my community people in our own dialects. म धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु हाम्रो पूर्व लिडर्सहरु जति जना हुनुहुन्छ यो समयमा 75 इयर्स हामी प्लेटिनम जुबली त मनाइरहेका छौं, तर उहाँहरुको योगदान थिएन भने आजको यो दिन हामीले देख्न पाउने पनि थिएन। तर उहाँको धेरै ठूलो योगदान, उहाँको भविष्य हेर्ने त्यो फार साइटेड भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि आज हामी यहाँ पुगेर हाम्रो आइडेन्टिटीलाई हामीले भन्न सकेको छौं कि हामी पनि पुरानो हौं, यहाँ कोहिमाको वासी पुरानोहरु हौं, हामी आज भोलि आएको व्यक्ति होइन भन्न सक्ने बनाइदिएकोमा म धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। उहाँको भिजन्सको लागि, जो फ्युचर उहाँले हेरेर त्यो दिनमा यो गोर्खा स्टुडेन्ट युनियन कोहिमालाई बनाइदिएको लागि उहाँलाई धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। उहाँको परिवारजनलाई धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु, तपाईहरुले पनि साथ दिएर आएकोमा। अनि आजसम्ममा जति पनि एक्जिक्युटिभ्सहरु गोर्खा स्टुडेन्ट युनियन कोहिमामा तपाईले साथ दिनुभयो, तपाई सबैलाई पनि म धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। तपाईहरु सबैको कन्ट्रिब्युसनले गर्दाखेरि हाम्रो गोर्खा स्टुडेन्ट युनियन कोहिमा एक बार पनि डिफाङ नभएर 75th इयर हामीले मनाउन सकिरहेको छौं। र म यस बेला हाम्रो आउने पिढीहरुलाई, मेरो भाइ बहिनीहरुलाई एन्करेज गर्न चाहन्छु, तपाईहरु पनि अघि बढेर आउनुहोस्। हामीलाई थाहा छ दुःख छ, समाजमा काम गर्नु आराम होइन, धेरै हामीले निन्दाहरु पनि सहनु पर्छ, मान्छेको कुराहरु सुन्नु पर्छ, तर पनि समाजको लागि हामीले केही गरेन भने भोलि गएर हाम्रो अस्तित्व, हाम्रो आइडेन्टिटी नै क्राइसिसमा आएर पुगेको हुन्छ। त्यही कारणले गर्दाखेरि तपाई सबैलाई अनुरोध छ, तपाईहरु अघि बढेर आउनुस्। यसलाई 75 माने टुङ्गाने होइन, तर हामी पुगेर हामीले सेन्चुरी पनि हाम्रो 100 इयर्स पनि मनाउन सक्नुको निम्ति तपाईहरु अघि बढ्नुस् भनेर म तपाईहरुलाई अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु. I'm very thankful to our esteemed Sir KG Kenye also for taking out his time, and as he holds the parliamentary affairs and power departments, and as he being one of the cabinet ministers, at this hour I would also like to request on behalf of the students, Gorkha students of Nagaland. Sir, earlier we used to receive scholarships, but now even the scholarship has been stopped for the Gorkha community, and it has made most of our community students face hardship, as our community are not that well-to-do community. We are hand-to-mouth community. So I would be very grateful if Sir can put a kind word to our esteemed minister in charge to look forward on these issues also, so that it can be continued. We are not asking something new, but we are just requesting which was there for the Gorkha community to be continued again, so that we may also avail the education, as education is the weapon to fight against poverty, and it's also the weapon for the Gorkha community also to go ahead with the other communities. So I humbly request ourselves, so if you could, we will be very in-debt to you for this small deeds of yours. It will make a huge impact to my students' community. That's a humble request from my side. On behalf of the Gorkha Students Union Kohima also, me being the former president of the GSU, I also know how helpful the Kohima Village Student Union and the Tikal Student Union and the Angami Student Union has been to us, and I express my gratitude to you all also today. Thank you so much for always being there and partnering and being a part of our community in every time whenever we have required your help. Thank you so much, and I believe that this friendship and this bond will continue in days to come also. And before I conclude my speech, I would like to say this to my younger brothers and sisters. Jatini bhai bhai यहाँ छ म तपाईहरुलाई एउटा quote लिएर नै म मेरो speech end गर्न चाहन्छु. The quote that I have edited a little bit, it was said by the former president of the United States, John F. Kennedy. He said this one, and I have a little bit edified it to speak to my brothers and sisters here. Do not think what your community has done for you. Just think what you have done for your community. Then our Gorkha community will grow, and it will rise, and it will shine. Jai Gorkha. Dhanyavad.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, Gorkhalis are known for our valor, strength, unity, honesty, and dignity, and now more so for our jubilant spirit, performed in dance and songs. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall witness a part of that jubilant celebration of our culture with a cultural performance by Rima and Nikhil Karki.
Sorry, I didn't know you. Film हेर्न जाऊँ न आज है?
होइन फिल्म नहेरौँ न आज, उँभौली छ त्यहीँ जाउँ.
हुन्छ त.
superstars Rima Karki and Nikhil Karki. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Sakela Sili, a Kirati Rai dance, a dance of earth that signifies celebrating nature. Now we move on to the speech of guest of honor, Dr. Ato, as we fondly called him. Sir, please take.
To be a part of your celebration, the Platinum Jubilee. 75 years, as mentioned, is not just a job. You have gone through so many trials, difficulties, success to reach these 75 years. Your organization is older than the statehood of Nagaland. You deserve to be recognized as a part of Nagaland. The Gorkha community has contributed a lot in the different activities of the capital of Nagaland, both in the connectivity and the human resource that the Gorkha community has contributed to the state of Nagaland is well recorded and many are aware of it. Well, I'm not here to praise myself, yet I would like to remind your community that in the last 62 years of Nagaland statehood and in the last 14th Assembly House of Nagaland, I am one of the first to raise the issues of Gorkha in the Assembly, in the recently held 7th Assembly session. It is with your blessing that I am being elected as one of the 60 members, and it is my duty to be the mouthpiece of any minority or any community in the capital of Nagaland whom I represent, that I should be the mouthpiece if there's any grievances. So I did it in the recently concluded 7th session. Well, as mentioned by your Nagaland Gorkha Association President, Nobin, if there was any mistake in the government's notification, in the government's Gazette publication, that the Gorkhas were declared as indigenous in 1974. But the government has come up with a decision that indigenous is only entitled to those who are in Nagaland since time immemorial. And I know the Gorkhas are in Nagaland for more than 200 years, yet your origin could be traced. So the government is in a position to recognize you as permanent residents of Nagaland. But if the word indigenous is removed, please understand the situation, and as mentioned by the President Nobin, it is most likely will go in that way, that you may be recognized as permanent residents, but not as indigenous. Please remember that. Yet, even if with that status, there are still many things which the government needs to help you, to support you, so that even if you cannot avail some facilities in the state, you should be given the opportunity to avail such facilities at the national level. And for this, in front of our Honorable Cabinet Minister KG, I would like to mention that in this reservation policy of the nation, 51% is reserved for general, 27% is reserved for OBC, 7% is reserved for ST, and 15% is reserved for SC. So ST, SC, and OBC together is 49%. OBC cannot take ST's reservation, ST cannot take SC's reservation, and vice versa. They cannot take each other's reservation. So, in the presence of our Cabinet Minister, I would like to highlight the plight of my people, my Gorkha people, that if the cabinet can come to a decision or recommend their case to the government of India to recognize the Gorkhas of Nagaland as OBC, so that even if they cannot avail anything in Nagaland, they should be allowed to appear in UPSC exams, the central exams, where I would love to have my Gorkha people as an IPS official in Nagaland. I would like to have them as IS official in Nagaland. By giving them the opportunity of OBC, it will not affect the ST reservation of the indigenous Nagas, or any tribal reservation will not be disturbed by giving them OBC. So it is my prayer that our special guest and the cabinet minister from the present government take note of my suggestion and my request that if we can recommend the Gorkha community to be included as OBC in all India level. Well, my dear Gorkha people, especially the students, your difficulties, the day-to-day life problems that you face, sometimes when we think of life, look at the Nagas. Sometimes the life is so comfortable that slowly we are not producing very good, capable leaders or youngsters. Yet the Gorkhas, in spite of your difficulties, you have produced so many international citizens who are working all over the world. So the saying goes, when the situation is difficult, when the living condition is difficult, you produce strong leaders. Strong leaders produce comfortable society. And when comfortable society starts, you produce weak generation and weak leaders. So Nagas are in that situation. We are comfortable and we are having weak generation. You are having difficult times and you are producing strong leaders and international citizens. Anyway, we Nagas also should learn from the Gorkha community that the situation that compels you to become international citizens, we should learn from you that today the comfort in your own native state, the comfort in your own country is not enough. We should all try to become international citizens. I want to challenge this, especially to the students. Well, I'm happy that I'm invited to this function. I have nothing much to tell the students, but your priority as a student is to give very good academic result as a good harvest to your parents, and try to build yourself, try to educate yourself as if you are going to live forever, yet do good to other human beings, do good to your community as if you are going to die tomorrow. Let us continue to support each other. And I, as the MLA of this very constituency, will try my best. If time and situation permits, I will always try to put up your grievances to the government. And in the presence of our special guests, I hope when the cabinet have any discussion regarding the Gorkhas, I hope they will recommend to the government of India at least to recognize the Gorkhas of Nagaland, who have settled before 1963, to be recognized as OBC, which will not disturb the reservation for any tribals. Thank you so much for having me here, and long live Gorkha Students Union Kohima. Thank you.
Thank you so much for remarkably highlighting our plight and playing a pivotal role, I should say, and being our voice when our voice cannot be heard. And sir, indeed, we are extremely grateful for you. A simple thank you isn't enough. Sir, I insist that we invited you as guest of honor to be here for just a mere celebration, but indeed, you're not a guest for us. You are very much a part and parcel of a community, of a Gorkhali family here in Nagaland. And I assure you, you're not a guest, but our very own MLA, our voice, our full support shall always be with you, and I hope and You know that our support and love is always with you, sir, as well. Extremely grateful and humbly appreciative of your efforts, sir. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I invite on the dais our special guest, Sri KG Kenye, Honorable Minister of Power and Parliamentary Affairs, Government of Nagaland, for your speech, sir.
With the permission of the Chair, may I propose that we all stand up in our seats, pay homage to the leaders. 1 minute. Thank you. Our All Nagaland Gorkha Association President and his colleagues, our head GP of the Gorkha community in Kohima, all the other well-wishers coming from Tseilhoutuo K, Kohima village, also the president of the Kohima Village Students Union, elders who are here, my esteemed colleague, our Honorable MLA Dr Tseilhoutuo, your local candidate. Also, we are given to understand that Mrs. Asamla, the ward member from your locality, is also here. All other well-wishers, dignitaries seated on the dais, off the dais, my family members, our press and media fraternity from the fourth estate, my dear Gorkha community, and the students' community. At the outset, I extend my warmest greetings, heartiest congratulations to the Gorkha Students Union Kohima for achieving 75 years of its glorious sustenance through all weather. I bring you greetings from my Chief Minister, Dr. Meghraj, the entire cabinet colleagues, the government of Nagaland, and also all the citizens of our state in Nagaland. It is a very auspicious occasion, as has been repeatedly stated by the former speakers. 75 years is almost a century. And it's a long time. It certainly is a feat. And today, we rightly pay our grateful remembrance and honor to the founding fathers, whom you have tried to remember in a small way by extending your wishes to your family members, for those who have passed away, and a few of you who are still alive. We salute you, hats off, and we pray and we hope that spirit of the burning desire inside the heart of your existence should be inherited by the younger generations when you connect, when you have stated that you are connecting with them by bridging generations and aspiring also for the future. It's beautiful. God has smiled upon the Gorkha community, You have inspired your leaders early on that they have such a foresight in setting up this platform from where primarily the Gorkha community has managed to group together, come together. And with this as a springboard, you have managed to spread out and also form your units, unions and associations throughout Nagaland. From everywhere, when you were giving your souvenirs, you have acknowledged the presence and representatives from everywhere in the state. Far-flung, nearby, everywhere. We are glad that we are a witness today to the growing, thriving, prospering community of Gorkhas. Lately, I think people are getting a little mixed up by referring more to the nomenclature called Nepalis. But I remember my parents, elders, they refer to this community from the beginning as Gorkhalis, not Nepalis. Perhaps from Nepal it originated, so they say Nepali, meaning from that country of origination, but the community itself is Gorkha. So they were referred to as Gorkhalis, and today we are reviving and getting more clear picture of your community as Gorkhas. We are grateful for the community's contribution in the growth of our state. Personally, for me personally, and it must be for so many other Naga friends, Naga communities, presently or our parents, Nagas, Gorkhas, our association has been very, very firm and a deep bond of understanding and always been there. You know, the person who taught me how to drive the Jeep was a Gorkha. He was a Gorkha employed in the Publicity Information Directorate as a driver, government driver. And since he was attached to us, he was the person who taught me how to drive. I was 8 years old, and the Jeep was popular there, and I picked up the skill from him. I could never forget, and I will never. Another Gorkha, a man who stayed and was my late father's driver, was Mr. Sonar. He was a driver in Kohima DC office, attached to my late father. And he retired. But he again came to me after retirement, saying, "Sir, I'm going to Tolok again. Pension busy by. I'll just leave with you, stay with you." Because he was a bachelor. He never married. So he stayed on with me again, serving 2 generations. And this kind of attachments and stories we have. Just like me, there must be hundreds, thousands of Naga families who share this kind of experience and affinity with our Gorkha communities. As has been stated, we understand that there are certain communities in our state who deserve a special kind of arrangement. We have lately faced the onslaught of outsiders. This is the problem. All the Johnny-come-latelys have become a problem to our state government. And our people have suddenly started facing that threat of being overwhelmed and overrun. So, in the sudden reaction to the present day dispensation and the circumstances around us, have sparked some kind of a jump start for the people as well as the government of Nagaland, who, as a people, as a state, was in a state of slumber. Everything was so peaceful, so calm, so casual. We never felt a sense of threat from any country. But all of a sudden, in the last 2 decades, that sense dawned on us and our people. I think we have to be more careful. We have to start framing out precautionary measures that we do not fall into a situation like some of our more unfortunate neighbors, whom, without spelling it out, you understand in what kind of situation they are. They will reduce to abject minorities in their own land. That is something which we don't want our people to face now or in the future. So the responsibility fell on our shoulders all of a sudden. So maybe it is this unnatural response to the situation which has made us look like we were a little too rough, tough, and aggressive. But in all whatever that we may do, say, and look like, we are humans. And we have a special corner of our heart reserved always for special people who have been always close to us for centuries. Just allow the dust to settle down. Just allow the dust to settle down. A lot of dirt has been kicked up. But certainly it's not you, not the Gorkhas. It has been kicked up because of some other elements. But anyway, sooner or later, settle down, things become more clear, and we will deal with the issue in a more mature, more stable and permanent manner. It's not just a touch and go affair. When we lay the foundation, when we adopt a policy, embark on a rule or regulation, it should be permanent. Not just a touch and go, emergency kit to solve the problem just now. It should be permanent. That's why we are taking time to settle all these things around us. This thing about the other categories and the indigeneity of the status of any people. If you refer to the Chambers Dictionary or the Oxford Dictionary, and you see what does it mean by indigenous, I don't have to explain. You read it for yourself. It is something to do with the geopolitical territory and the inhabitants of that portion of land on earth, which you and I cannot change. There are certain things which migrative rules and laws governing the Migration Act may affect the status of a citizens in a certain country. But indigeneity is one which is out of bound from all these rules governing the geopolitical territory of a people in any part of the world. But these are inherited through birth, not your fault, not my fault. But when we are born inheriting certain liabilities or certain assets also, which cannot be done away with a wish, or which cannot be acquired by amending, enacting any kind of law of that country or that. I'm glad you have understood. My old friend, Mr. Moby, your president, all Nagaland Gorkhas Association, and your seniors here, we are all very familiar friends. We grew up as children from this time with Orisha's home. They understand your community's position, and they don't make a claim above or over what you are supposed to. That is called honesty. And if all mankind were to remain within their own boundaries with honesty, there will be no problems in the world. But it is because of insincere people like us that we try to overgrow our size, try to make far-reaching claims. That is where trouble starts. But just as you are, I'm glad that you were, you are, and you always will honest when it comes to Gorkhas. Now, we see that the power which ruled the world, the largest chapter of our histories of mankind, the British Empire had the Queen's own army and guards, chosen especially from anywhere that they have ruled in this world, and selected the Gorkha regiment to be her own guard. And she has kept it. Queen Victoria, Queen Elizabeth. I don't know, recently Prince Charles, whether the status has changed or not. But they were the most precious and delightful item that the English, British royalty had preserved and kept for themselves. Now the white man, especially the British, the English man, they have ruled almost the entire world. Black, blue, white, green, any kind of species of mankind they know and they study. Unless they have a full confidence and trust, they will never choose that type of people to be with them, to be their honored royal guards. It's plain for us who have lived with you and we know you through and through, the qualities that you have inherited from your ancestors: gallantry, valor, obedience, loyalty, discipline, you name it. Any virtue that is now rare among mankind in this world is found in your Gorkha community. I'm not here today in your 75th anniversary trying to praise you unnecessarily. But something which we ourselves have seen in our own lifetime, and the world has always recognized you as very, very disciplined community, can be extremely loyal, dedicated and focused, brave and honest. This is what the Gorkha community was and is and should always be. You have endowed, God has endowed on you these finest qualities of mankind. Today, as humanity progresses more, as we develop more, such qualities and virtues of mankind are depleting. We're losing these characters slowly, too soon. That way, we share close affinity, as I was saying. Both our ancestors and parents were brave people, were warriors, were honest, hardworking. We live through our sweat we earn, and in the face of any adversity, we never fail to stand up to the occasion, up to the extent of laying down their lives. But in today's 21st, getting depleted of these virtues, these qualities of life. In our mad race for development, advancement, somewhere down the line we have lost our attachment with these qualities and personalities, these finest characters that we have inherited throughout from our ancestors, is straying away, fading away from our lives. So, on any given occasion, we keep trying to remind the younger generation, cultivate again, try to rediscover. Unfortunately, there are so many other communities in this world who are not gifted with these qualities. Now, they have to try and adopt it, learn it, acquire it. But unfortunately, there are certain things in life which, cannot be learned or adopted. That is just faking it, mimicking it. It lacks originality. These are certain things which are acquired through birth, by blood. It has to be in your DNA. And that's where the Gorkha community and the Nagas were fortunate that by birth we have inherited this finest qualities of the living species called human beings on this planet. These are the most fortunate communities. We have to harness it, practice it, and promote it. Honesty, reliability, trust. These are qualities which are so rare. The world has no dirt for money. So much wealth, so much money is there, so much finance is there. But funding agencies or governments or individuals, companies, financing institutions are in search of people with these traits and qualities, which we must re-inculcate in our lives to avail the opportunities. There are some things which are rare and we have it in us. You understand the value of it, keep it close to your hearts. Then life will be easier. Today, the Gorkha community in Nagaland, you seem to have temporarily been displaced a little bit. But as our former speakers have said, don't be disheartened. Our government back in 2023 had already explored the possibilities of making such arrangements that such communities who have been close with us and has become a part of us should be fitted into that category. Other backward communities, OBC was certainly one of the first choices that we have landed upon. And there are a few others also who deserves to fall under this category, like the Malawari community. Some of them, few families who are settled in the fields. So we say it should be an honor to be in the same category with our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi ji, who himself is an OBC. He belongs to the other backward category. So we will take up. We were taking it up, in fact, in 2024. But as I said earlier, certain elements cropped up and that disturbed the process of our trying to resolve these issues. And the register of indigenous inhabitants of Nagaland enumeration was put on hold for a while. But it will resume. Ultimately it is. So until such time, communities like you will have to endure with the anxiety of uncertainty. But today, you have a strong legislator, you are rightfully well-deserved elected MLA in the form of Dr. Tseilhoutuo, who has strongly always been advocating for your cause. The government has taken note of it, and you will soon see that your aspirations are fulfilled also. In conclusion, to our students community, whether it be Gorkha students or other tribal students unions, on this occasion, 75 years of your existence, you see, what has been our achievements after that? 75 years from now means 1950. So, our elders, our fathers, forefathers, ancestors, they were very creative. I must say they were very creative. Throughout the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s, our parents together, who comprised of this present Nagaland, Then it was Naga Hills. They did everything upon which we have been feasting, parasiting on, and has been exploiting on. After them, nothing worldwide has happened in our communities. It is their toils, their sweat and labor, their sacrifices that we are still enjoying, extracting from, and living on. Nothing worldwide has ever happened after that. You name it. And all this coming, bringing our people together from everywhere, it happened in the 50s, throughout. All these platforms and unions, associations, world is strength, have started during those days. This state that we have was started in 1960. And that is where we were and we still are. We like it or not, we speed upon it, kick it, condemn it. What have our generations done? What's our achievement? Except parasiting on what has been done by the former leaders of all our communities. We thank them, that's why, for their farsightedness. In 1945, we had the Hills and Plains Students Union. The Hills and Plains. So that way many from Assam, neighboring states also came and were part of it. And slowly we became, in 1948, as mentioned earlier, the devastating Second World War, when things were regrouping again, they started the Kohima Students Union, of which I am certain the Gorkha community was a part of it. And that was true because of their participation, that was a springboard. It ignited their thoughts, so much so that they also formed a separate platform for their community called the Gorkha Students Union Kohima, upon whose platform you have grown in leaps and bounds. So today is a great and glorious day. We thank them, and the student leaders today, be careful. I'm watching how things are changing, how people are changing. That's too far. 75 years back, we were not born, we haven't seen. But just some 30 years back, 25 years back, when we ourselves were spearheading the students' movement as students' leaders, we have also had our time of struggles. Don't be lavish. Be economic. Try to cut down your expenditures. Something that I'm noticing is things are going a little overboard. Nagas and the young people today, student leaders, cut down on your expenses. You have still not yet started earning your salaries. You have still not yet embarked on your incomes. And you have still not yet defined how your life will be. This is a change, a transitional change that you are undergoing. Be careful, go slow, cut down on expenditures, don't start behaving like officers, don't start behaving like VIPs. You know, back then, we used to, our pockets were empty, our old cars, petrol tank used to be empty, and most of the time our stomachs were also empty. We walked with hungry stomach. We used to try to find supporters and donors and well-wishers only. We never asked. We never demand. Why? Because we never wanted to be under obligation of anybody, least the government. So we don't go around falling in to be indebted to any person that might be. And that's how we sustain our independence in all our approaches. And we could take up our batch, our generation could take up important issues which confronted our people and our state those days. Keep it up, have a simple living like the old say, and be high thinking. Focus on the issues around us, focus especially in the field of education, present and future. Be good leaders of our state, our people. Let peace and unity and God's blessing be sought first and foremost in your lives. I'm grateful that all of you have invited me and my esteemed colleague Dr. Tseilhoutuo to be present in your midst in this auspicious occasion. We have been a part of it, witnessed it, and we are blessed through the occasion. I wish the Almighty God's choicest blessings to each and every one of you who are here today. May the Gorkha students and the Gorkha community continue to be a loyal friend of the Naga people. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words of encouragement, exhortation, and enlightening us with your gracious presence, for acknowledging the Gorkha community in leaps and bounds, and for your assurance, sir. We are indeed extremely grateful and humbly appreciate your authority, sir. Thank you once again. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the last part of our program, that is vote of thanks. As Eckhart Tolle says, acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. So I welcome now Sri Karan Chhetri, Games and Sports Secretary, Kohima Gorkha Students Union, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
Respected special guests, म मेरो स्पीच सुरु गर्नु अगाडि भन्नु चाहन्छु कि म इङ्ग्लिस र नेपाली मिक्स गरेर भन्नु चाहन्छु. A very warm good afternoon to each one of you. Your historic milestone, the Platinum Jubilee celebration of the Gorkha Students Union Kohima, ma vote of thanks दिनेमा मेरो लागि सम्मान र खुसीको अवसर छ. आजको थीम Bridging Generation Aspiring Futures came alive through every moment of this program. First and foremost, I extend my deepest gratitude to our special guest, Sri Kenye, for gracing this milestone celebration with his presence and inspiring us with his words. Sir, your encouragement truly motivates us. Thank you, sir. My heartfelt thank you also goes to our guest of honor, Dr. Tseilhoutuo Rhutso, for his gracious participation and for honoring this occasion with his support. And I just want to add that we are really thankful for always supporting and speaking for the Gorkha community. Thank you, sir. म धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु हाम्रो चेयरपर्सन मिस जेनी लामछाने छेत्री, जसले हाम्रो कार्यक्रमलाई ग्रेसियसली र स्मुथली डायरेक्ट गर्नुभयो. म धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु हाम्रो प्रेसिडेन्ट श्री मेघराज लामाजी, जसले हामीलाई वार्मली वेलकम गरेर साथैमा उनको लिडरसिपको लागि पनि धेरै धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु, जसको पुश र प्लानिङले यो प्रोग्राम सक्सेस हुन जाँदैछ. म धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु हाम्रो GSUK Jubilee Choir for the beautiful theme song. म धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु श्री नवीन प्रधान, प्रेसिडेन्ट एनजिए, जसले हामीलाई हाम्रो प्लाटिनम जुबली को थीम सजेस्ट गर्यो र हामीलाई दिशा भी देखायो. I extend sincere thank you to our honored speaker, Sri Crisanino Kire, President KBSU, Sri P. John Thakudi, President AMSU, whose speeches have greeted us and enlightened us. I extend my heartfelt thank you to our invited guests, whose presence have brightened this celebration. म धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु हाम्रो प्रेम प्रधानजी जसले हामीलाई सुभिनियर डिजाइन गर्नुमा मद्दत गर्यो र जुबली दिस जुबली वुड नट हैव बीन पोसिबल विदाउट यू. म धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु मिस रुबिना सिवा र उसको टिमले जसले हाम्रो यो हल डेकोरेट गरिदियो, भेट्नुको लागि धेरै मद्दत गरिदियो. I also want to thank the press community for covering our celebration. म धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु हाम्रो अर्गनाइजिङ कमिटी, volunteers, performers र पार्टिसिपेन्टलाई जसको समर्पण र डेडिकेसनले यो सेलिब्रेसन सक्सेस हुन जानेछ. हाम्रो हस्पिटालिटी कमिटीलाई धेरै धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु जसले हाम्रो जुबली फिस्टको लागि विभिन्न पकवान बनाइदिएको छ. म धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु हाम्रो सिस्टर एनजिओस र जाति समाजलाई जसको कन्ट्रिब्युसनले हाम्रो मनोबल बढाइदियो. म धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु हाम्रो गोर्खा कम्युनिटीलाई जसले हामीलाई फाइनेन्सियली र इमोसनली धेरै मद्दत गर्नुभयो. Community members and vibrant Gorkha gathered here, your presence is the soul of this celebration. We honor the legacy of the 75 glorious years because of you. Once again, thank you all for joining us, and may the Gorkha Student Union continue to grow, serve and inspire for generations to come. Thank you and have a wonderful Jubilee feast.
Ladies and gentlemen, 75 years of trials and tribulations, joys and mishaps, unity and strength, of kindness, of friendship, of bonds beyond love and family, hearts in tune with Nagaland burden, with blessings from our ancestors and pioneer leaders, the Gorkha Students Union Kohima vows to move forward and trust with dignity, with blessings from our predecessors, bridging generations, inspiring future generations. And with that, we conclude the formal celebration and the first phase of our Gorkha Students Union Kohima Platinum Jubilee celebration.